Hi S1, so last week we were thinking about heat transfer in liquids. If you remember, the particles of the liquid, when they absorbed some heat, that meant they gained kinetic energy, they spread out, they moved faster, and when they spread out they became less dense and they rose up. And that's what happens in heat transfer in liquids and in gases. However, today we're going to be thinking about heat transfer in solids, and that process is known as conduction. And so I've got a little experiment that I want to show you, and maybe you can try out at home as well. So let's have a look. So this is the experiment here. We've got 3 spoons in a bowl of water. We haven't got the water in yet, but we're going to put some hot water into the bowl and see how the heat conducts up the 3 spoons. Now the way we're going to do that is by adding some butter to the end of the 3 spoons. So we'll add a little bit of butter to this one here, just at the top, and a little bit of butter to the wooden one as well. Now as we're doing this, I want you to think about how is the heat going to travel up these spoons? What is the process that it's going to use? And this process is known as conduction. I haven't told you anything about how it works, of course. So there's our last spoon, the metal one. Put the butter at the top. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add to each of these, because butter is a bit sticky, we're going to add a bead. And the bead is going to stick to the butter. If I can keep the beads in my hand, like this. And the theory is that whenever the heat travels up the spoon, it will melt the butter at the top and the beads will drop off the spoons. So let's add the water and see which spoon conducts the heat the quickest. So S1, I've got the kettle now, and we're going to add the hot water into the bowl very, very carefully. And what I want you to do is start a timer right now. And what we're going to do is see how long it takes for the beads to fall off the spoons. So you might have an idea as to which one of these is going to conduct the heat the quickest. Maybe it's the metal, maybe it's the wooden one, maybe it's the plastic, who knows. Whatever one the bead falls off first, well, that one we know the heat has conducted up the spoon the quickest. So let's watch and find out. Just add a little bit more water just to speed up the process maybe. Well, it's 5 minutes into the process and still the butter on the wooden and the plastic handles hasn't, or the plastic spoons hasn't melted yet. Well, S1s, I'm going to stop the experiment there. This is 10 minutes of video footage, and the metal one conducted the heat really quickly. The spoon is very warm, but the plastic one, there's a bit of warmth up there. Maybe it's just starting to melt. The wooden one feels warmish. Not an awful lot of melting going on in either the plastic or the wooden spoons. So they're great at insulating. I guess that explains why saucepans have plastic handles and metal pans.